Thank you, Mr Acting Deputy President, and I too rise to pay my condolences to Joan Kirner, and it's hard to believe that she's no longer with us, but I'm comforted by the knowledge that her family and her close family and friends tell us that she is now no longer in pain. And I was very sorry not to be able to attend Joan's funeral, as I was attending estimates here in the Parliament, but I know that Joan herself would have thought that was a far more important job than attending her funeral, and I have been able to read many of the wonderful tributes to Joan that were made at that funeral. So I knew Joan through Emily's List, as a proud member of Emily's List and a very early member of Emily's List. And it is very, very hard to imagine Emily's List without Joan. But Joan has established Emily's List on a very, very strong path, and as we just heard from our leader, Senator Wong, many women in this place and indeed state parliaments have been the beneficiary of Emily's List in Australia. And Joan left us with a very proud legacy. We are still not as strong as we should be as women in Australian parliaments, but without Emily's List, I can't imagine where we would be today. And when she first brought Emily's List to Australia, we all wondered, well certainly I did, just what it would mean and how effective it would be. But nevertheless, we all signed up because that's what Joan wanted us to do. And Joan was a very generous woman, a very courageous woman, but she wasn't a woman you could say no to very easily. So when we were asked to sign up to Emily's List, that's what we all did, because to not do so would have incurred the wrath of Joan. But Emily's List has absolutely well and truly established itself on the left of Australian politics, and there are many fine women, both past and present, who are here because of Emily's List, and it continues to make a massive contribution. But we do have a long way to go. So Emily's List and affirmative action means that the Australian Labor Party is able to produce very fine female politicians. And in the Australian Labor Party, it's quite difficult to become a Labor hero. We set the bar very high. A Labor hero we lost earlier this year was Gough Whitlam, and Joan is easily a Labor hero. Despite there being a high bar, Joan well and truly met that bar as an absolute champion. And I know when she became the Premier in Victoria what a brave and courageous role she played. She absolutely led from the front. She didn't skirt or try and get around any issues at all. She took them head on, and she led in the most courageous way, and again showed us as younger women what it means to be a courageous female leader. And when she stepped down from that parliament, after such a long years as a community activist and a Labor politician, she could have been given the grace of retiring, but she didn't. She was as feisty in retirement, in Emily's List and other causes, as she'd been right through her working life and her community activity. So she will be missed, there's no doubt about that, but she has set us on a strong course, and those of us who are proud Emily's List members are there because of the beneficiary of Joan Kirner.
Thank you, Senator Long.